I love it. It's part of my life.
Welcome Rotax drivers that have qualified to arguably the greatest karting event on earth. Those who do not know me yet, my name is Ragnar Veros. I'm a lifelong karting driver that achieved his dream 2 years ago here in Bahrain by becoming the 82nd Rotax World Champion. This course is for high-achieving, self-learning hustlers like myself or young and coming champions that value experience of those who have walked the road before. I've never seen this done before, so take it as my first gift to you. Tonight, it's all about you, what you can do to be better at the Grand Finals. I will share my years of experience through consecutive Grand Finals from 2017 to 2024. This will prepare you for what's to come, from approaching the event with a healthy mindset to everything you need to watch out for during the race weekend. So sit back and relax. I have a lot of information, but also more gifts and surprises to share. I saw all of you guys set goals, and you guys are ambitious. Awesome. 90% of you are gunning for a podium, and I'm glad to see that, but I must talk about expectation management. You need to aim high, but statistically every 1 in 25 will climb up to the podium at the Grand Finals. So for context, if I can help even 1 or 2 of you fulfill this goal, it will be exceptional. I only stepped onto the podium on my 6th Grand Finals. Hopefully, I can make you avoid the big mistakes I made. So, what makes the Grand Finals so hard and how can I help you? 72 world's best drivers will squeeze everything out of you. I've never raced in a smaller field and made it to the final in all my 7 Grand Finals. To anyone unfamiliar with the event, it doesn't just take speed and skill to break it to the finals. But more about that very soon. To be fair, the peak motorsport level is not present in every country, and you may even come from one of them, but that's the beauty of the Grand Finals. Not everyone can get there, however tough you may be behind the wheel, and you can see real pros in action. Rotax or not, we've seen Rotax drivers clinch CIK FIA titles and podiums in latest years. Know who you are up against and don't get starstruck on the track. For drivers at this level, Grand Finals eliminate some of this category's peak competition, but the majority can measure up to these guys under the most equal conditions there is. So what does it take to succeed in the Grand Finals? Speed and skill may seem like the obvious first picks to set you up for success, but the Karting Olympics challenges you in many different ways. What must you prepare for? I'll break it down for you. Your ability to adapt will become a key factor. You only have 6 practice sessions if all goes well. In 2024, for example, we had practices skipped, and that's how I had to fight with technical issues all the way until qualifying. This brings us to the second adaptation point, your new kart. You or your team and mechanic need the best preparation to make your kart run and comfortable to focus on driving from session 1. Beware that anything can and will happen, just as I barely got a problem-free lap in before qualifying last year. The quicker you get driving fixed, the faster you can start testing for setups and pressures. This brings us to bullet point 3. In Bahrain, you need to adapt to driving both in night and daytime. New variables, changes in racing line, kart behavior, setups and pressures. Meanwhile, you must always consider track development, since there's nothing else but rental running before the event. If I kept listing every detail here, we'd probably need another hour, which you can get with me privately. All you need to do is sign up on the link in the group chat and secure your position. This also secures you a detailed track guide for this year's Grand Finals venue. Bahrain International Circuit is one of the most technical in the world. I'll soon tell you about the key points to become unbeatable here. But as I said, every detail just cannot fit into one single video course. And this I made directly after my victory, straight from memory. But big races like the Grand Finals are so dynamic that you obviously can't remember all the crucial changes you made that led you to victory without taking notes. So, do you mark your setup changes and feedback down after every session? Please do, even if for the first time. I also did 2 years ago in Bahrain, and it was a thrill to read what I did to turn my P5 result in the pre-final around in just one night to finish P1 in the final. I'm publishing my Bahrain diary with our conclusions from analyzing races and data. You can see what really drives the results and what the thought process looks like. And although I never offer them separately, I just recently developed my tire pressure tool and karting AI to specifically help you in Bahrain. This way you have a personal coach and engineer in your pocket at all times. And these bonus tools I give you just for extra. So I strongly recommend sticking around till the end to find out who will win private coaching session and all Road to Bahrain program for free. Or secure your position on the link in the chat and make sure you get access to my precious guides. This led me to win the Rotax Grand Finals. Why shouldn't it help you? You have to be ready to answer the chat when we announce the winner, so keep a close eye on the chat at all times. Now let's focus our attention to what I do and think to put myself in the best position to find success in the Grand Final. After your kart is tailored to your liking, it's time to hit the track on Monday. The first practice determines a lot. Whether you can find the confidence, understand the kart, test some limits, and maximize your track time, you have got off to a great start. Make as many laps as possible. More minutes on the new engine does more good than running it in very gently. Plus, you can start to feel the kart, tires, and advance your driving. Fast lap times will be set at the end of the session because the track conditions keep improving. Before going into every practice session, have a plan in motion. Discuss with your mechanic or your team to change something on the kart, like seat stays or front bar that you can take off. Or maybe leave the kart alone and focus on your driving. Perhaps test different pressures, especially with the addition of night sessions. Test stuff you otherwise wouldn't during a race. It's your only time. Give a lot of feedback, store and analyze the data. And be ready to analyze again once the conditions change. For example, after everyone has put on new tires for qualifying, the track will significantly improve. So my suggestion, work on your driving most during the first sessions and squeeze in more of chassis testing at the end of the practices. This gives you a better picture of what may work and what the track will look like come race time. But with all that limited practice, don't overcomplicate things for yourself, but test as much as you can manage to handle at all times. It may be a lot, it may be very little, whatever makes you build more confidence. The karts are not entirely equal, and that's something you must accept on day one. But a great driver can be fast with all of them, as long as they're working, but maybe not win. I have two great examples. From my own 2023 kart that I won with to my 2024 kart that helped me to the verge of the top 10. Now that's the maximum difference a kart can make. Sure, the technical problems that cost us nearly 1 second a lap must be sorted out. It's very rare, but it's motorsports. But even after that, I was a little bit off, always. I could set a fast lap time, but that's from hanging in the tail of others. We never had a winning pace. Of course, our testing time was restricted. Plus, I was ill and weak from antibiotics, so there were places to improve for me even with the package we had. But never can you hide behind the kart for not making final or being far off. Such big differences do not exist. Another great example that came to mind was my fellow DD2 driver Martin van Leeuwen, from winning before me in 2021 to finishing P6 in 2023. Both very good results, but the journey was very different. I witnessed the champion struggle from qualifying to heats on the edge of top 20. A former champion there hustling to test everything to find extra speed. He never got quite there, but fought up to P6 in the final. That's the difference a kart makes. A great driver will outdrive their kart, even if they don't have a chance at winning. Achieving this level of problem solving takes time. Not all can wrestle the kart to the top, and that's where we all can keep improving. And you can already see anything can and will happen, so be prepared. You have to race guys that have this level of expertise. But how should one approach the Grand Finals? Be patient but fierce. Never be afraid, but neither underestimate your competition. Nothing will ever be gifted to you, but acknowledge how hard you work to get there and what's it worth to you. No heat race can win you a championship. No final can be won without finishing. It is very easy to get tangled up in the mess, something I have managed to avoid well through my career. That's what has brought me to each and every final, not only in the Grand Finals. But it's one of the common struggles in huge events like this. I only stepped onto the podium at my 6th Grand Final. Before that, I was yet to get better than P13. To be up there, a lot of the already mentioned aspects must come together. Your ability to adapt, your skill and knowledge of the track, your racecraft, strategies, your ability to analyze and solve issues, the kart, nowadays even the tires, and some luck with your endeavor. As with racing in general, the less mistakes we make, the better the result. I've seen experienced, fast champion drivers manage and put together a brilliant weekend to get tangled up in an unlucky incident. The rest of the weekend may never be the same if that costs a lot. Bear that in mind when fighting for positions. So stay realistic, keep your head and feet on the ground, acknowledge your competition, don't fear them, and try to make as little mistakes as possible yourself. Qualifying is incredibly important. If you want to have a shot at your goals that you created, it's got to start from qualifying. I've seen incredible drives from world top drivers that got disqualified in QP. They come back, get into top 10 in the final, but that's their highest win. Even at peak performance, you must place yourself high to have a shot at a podium. A good starting position allows you to escape the rest of the field. I'd say a top 5 starting position in the heats, mostly meaning a top 10 result in qualifying. But regardless of your grid spot you get, you must get a good lap in. And in that crazy field, now that's tricky. I can confidently say that in DD2 or Masters, you don't need slipstream. Just keep refining your 3 to 4 fast laps that you have and don't get distracted. That means don't focus on the screen besides the track. When I won my quali group back in 2023, I only saw where I was placed after my final quick lap. No distractions, just driving. But in the rest of the categories, slipstream is important. And should you wait to get slipstream in the pits with the others? Yes, otherwise you will get blocked on your fast lap while the others are only exiting the pits. Give yourself the time you need, but the top will only go out for the 2 to 3 fast laps. Get into the slipstream of someone your pace or faster. Always keep a little bit of distance for buffer. And make your lap count. No distractions, no mistakes, and push your limits. I will soon reveal exactly what to look out for on the track when setting a fast lap. Stay tuned for a guide of the Bahrain circuit. I also wanted to remind you that we will give away a full Road to Bahrain package to someone watching live right now. All you gotta do is be signed up with your email at kartletics.com. If you're not yet, take a moment and sign up now via the link I just put in the chat. And make sure you're here to collect your rewards when we announce the winner in the chat. But until then, let's discuss the Bahrain International Karting Circuit. This track is very tricky. Technical sections, often followed by very fast and flowing parts of the track that you need to carry momentum for. Positive and negative camber corners and roller coaster elevations. I can tell you from experience that I was much better there during my 2nd Grand Finals than my 1st. And I'm usually a very quick adapter, up there in the first practice. But there are some key revelations that made this track much easier for me after collecting 2 Grand Finals worth of laps. Here they are. You may find yourself struggling in turn 2, especially in faster categories. Why is that? The corner goes downhill on the entrance and then sharply uphill right after. In senior categories, you have to lift off. And this quick corner determines your speed through the fast and flowing section until turn 5. A mistake here can easily cost 0.2 of a second. On entrance, the kart gets very understeery due to the drop, but catches grip right after. So in order not to lose speed going uphill, we must nail the entrance and keep the kart under control. So how to do that? Lift off before turning to minimize understeer and go on throttle very early to keep the kart from sliding in. This way you make the tires grab early, keep the speed high through the corner and for the upcoming section, while minimizing sliding and understeer. After the fast section, we have a hard braking zone into turn 5. This is a very dynamic corner and a momentum builder for the middle sector. It goes uphill and stops the kart quickly, which makes it even harder to carry good speed out. But there is a huge runoff area. Last time you were allowed to use green turf on the outside. It is especially useful at the opening laps when you are forced to defend. This of course needs to be verified before by the stewards, providing a safety cushion when defending. As you can see how much it can help exiting wide even in a DD2. You carry more speed in, out, and if used smartly, can open a door for escaping the field. It can be bumpy and uncomfortable, so rather come straight across onto the green turf, commit to the wide line early, and shoot away from others. So we make our way to the start of the final chicane at turn 12. Downhill, hard braking zone followed by a sharp technical chicane where you must not drop out. Obviously we reach very high speed and want to jump hard on the brakes. Sounds like a logical and an efficient thing to do. And it is, but I've found that applying a little less stopping power is faster. Start braking a little bit earlier, a little bit less, roll and trail brake in a little longer. Shorten your strong braking zone and lengthen your trail braking zone. This way the kart settles better and also carries higher cornering and exit speed. But of course this corner is a monster overtaking zone, so when you get the chance to jump, you can really stop fast. I made my championship winning overtake there just before all hell broke loose behind. A crucial aspect of racing in Bahrain will be switching from night to daytime. Often your days will only start in the afternoon when it already gets dark. It's an extra variable for testing, and bear in mind, the most crucial races, except for the final, will be held in dawn. So getting your night driving and setups in place will be most important. You heard me say night driving, right? Is there a difference to daytime? Yes, quite significant in fact. The lines you take under the boiling sun with sticky track conditions are not the same as during the cool night. This becomes more evident during the race, not so much in the practices as the track evolves. What should you change then? During the day, make the track longer, higher speed through the corner. During nighttime, you can attack corners harder, take shorter lines and still carry good exit speed without getting stuck. It will be crucial to adjust your driving to take maximum of the conditions. While learning all this took most time, there is so much detail about this technical track. I even made small, specific changes after the pre-final on Friday night to win in the final. Spent hours behind the desk analyzing data, and I think we cracked it. Next day I was flying at my weakest spot. That I specifically explain in my Bahrain diary, and more specifics about the track in my track guide that even local drivers have found helpful. All of this you will find in my Road to Bahrain course that you can join on my website, and all your remaining questions we can discuss one-on-one in private. After this course, head to karletics.com and secure your spot. But before you do, I'll define action steps that you can take right now that will already put you in a better position than most other drivers. Watch onboards and learn track specifics, whether again from this course, Karletics YouTube onboard lab, or best from my Road to Bahrain course for most detail. But the important thing is that you prepare your mind to think forward before you hit the track. Set yourself a realistic goal you think you can accomplish and prepare mentally to maximize your contribution to the huge puzzle that determines your end result. Do the best you can at any circumstance. Plan rental runs to familiarize yourself with the track before you start testing your kart. Have your kart prepared very carefully and double check your seating. Practice sessions are very limited. Hence, plan all your practice sessions. Even if you're happy with the feeling, the track keeps improving and so should you. Try more things to know where not to go. Analyze and log sessions. Make informed decisions to maximize your puzzle pieces. Leave nothing on the table with reckless decisions, unless the risk is worth it. And as a bonus one, don't forget to have fun. It's a great karting festival after all, and you're privileged to attend. And now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, check for your name in the chat. If you're here to pick up your reward for full Road to Bahrain course for free, make some noise. If not, we'll make another raffle and call out a new winner. After confirming the winner, we'll get in touch with you via email and provide you with all the information. To give us some time to close the deal in the chat, I hope you enjoyed the overview of my Grand Finals experience and Bahrain circuit. I'm sure you found something to take with you today. This was my gift to you all who are going to Bahrain. And make sure to let me know afterwards. How did it go? What helped you the most? And did you accomplish your goal? If you found this helpful, subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for much more. I'm not only going to be more active on YouTube, but I share experience and truckfuls of karting intel all the time at kartletics.com. So if you found this helpful, imagine all you could accomplish with the help of Kartletics. I have massive, and I mean massive, updates coming on both tools and courses this winter. So stay in the loop, and perhaps you can still find a free place for Road to Bahrain on my website. Talk to you soon. Nii, küll ju.